Alright everybody, this is Sal, the KJ Man, back with another review, and this is episode 16. And this is Vroom. Vroom is a neat little racing game. It's not bad. It's got its issues, but I will go over those as we play the game here a little bit and check it out. It's an F1 racing game. It's very kind of reminds me a lot of Super Monaco Grand Prix for the Sega Genesis. So let's just kind of delve right into it here. We're going to start the game. Now, one of the downsides of this game you're already going to find out is that there are some delays in when you hit the button to start things and select things at the beginning of the game. And I think that delay has to do with it's trying to calculate things. Now, this uses you can use the joystick or the mouse. I prefer to use the joystick on this one. And it does, the joystick the control's not bad. It reminds me a lot of, it controls a lot like your standard driving game. It's got decent control for this, and one of the downsides is that the game has no soundtrack at all. It has no musical soundtrack except on the title screen, which I actually skipped because it takes forever to get through it. You got to hit the button and wait 20 seconds for it to finally go to the screen and everything else. It's just kind of ridiculous. So, and the music really isn't that great, so, on the title screen. So, that being said, I'm playing arcade mode, which is more like just your standard arcade style, pole position style racer. And, it's not bad. Like I said, it controls decently. The sound effects aren't horrible. They're not irritating. Control is decent. I think the graphics look pretty good. It moves pretty fluid. Considering what the Amiga is, it actually looks pretty good. Oops. And get out of the grass here. But, like I said, no music soundtrack. It just kind of makes the whole game kind of bland, which is kind of unfortunate. This game could have been a lot better than it is. And, it's definitely lacking in certain areas. Scenery's decent, it scrolls pretty well, and it gives the feeling of speed, the game does, and you can choose automatic or manual transmission with this game. I prefer automatic. It's an awful lot to think about to keep shifting through 6 different gears, and try to play it at the same time, and trying to keep the thing on the road. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely got its upside. In comparison to like the Lotus Esprit series, this is not as good a game, but it is still a decent game. Let's play a little bit here. I like how when you go through the tunnel, it gets kind of dark, and then it gets lighter when you come out, and stuff like that. That's kind of nice. Apparently I had a pretty bad crash there, and it stalled me for a second. Those red cars, they kind of get in your way. They kind of almost swerve in front of you just to get in your way. This game's AI is not too bad, actually. Grief. It's right in the middle of a road. You definitely gotta have a little bit of strategy in playing this game and knowing when to pass and when to slow down, when to speed up, because if you're not careful, you can hit a corner and really screw yourself. Ooh, boy, car didn't like that. Was that hairpin at the beginning there? Got past that. I'm getting a little, the more I play it, the better I'm getting at it. But yeah, and I spoke too soon. I hit a sign. It's almost like hard driving meets pole position with a lot better control. Hard driving's control was atrocious, and that's game over for me. I didn't do too well. Let me see here. I only got through 3 laps. Let me see. And it wants me to put in my name. There we go. Well, I gotta say, it's not a bad game, but it's not anything to write home about. Graphics are decent. Gameplay is fair. No soundtrack makes it kind of boring. Sound effects are okay. This is not your greatest game in the world. It's about a 3.5 star game. I give about 3.5 stars. It's worth trying out. You might like it if, like I said, like I've said in other games before, when we reviewed Outrun among other, they're and No Second Prize. When I reviewed those. Soundtrack really has a lot to do with a good game when it comes to driving games, and it kind of drives you to for lack of a better term, drives you to want to play and want to race, and this kind of falls flat. So give it a try and see if you guys like it. I think some people might, the kind of folks that like to shut off their volumes. This is a game that'll appeal to you because it doesn't have all the flash of a soundtrack. So, anyways, this is available in a lot of different places on the net. So give it a try. And everybody, that's it for today. So this was episode 16. This was Vroom, and everybody keep gaming.